Okay.
Rearrange the desk.
What?
Why do you rearrange the desk?
We're doing group projects in algebra one today. So every day we're always doing something in a different class. It's kind of rearranged.
Yeah, they're always
Yeah, sorry. It's kind of crazy. I like to move around a little bit, keep on my toes. All right. So what we're doing different pay days, right? So we have this is our pay chart. So this is if you're going to have a different pay, not pay scale, but a pay period that you're going through. What would your check be in the long run? How much money are you making per year? That's what we're looking at. We're really looking at annual salary. What do you make per year? That's the goal. Okay, so annual salary, pay per year. So what is your full yearly salary? Because this is something that businesses do ask for, right? That, if you're going to State Farm Insurance, something that I'm dealing with right now, looking at a vehicle, they're gonna ask me how much I make per year. It's not to be rude, it's just they need to know, can I even afford the payments, right? I can't go buy a Lamborghini, I can't afford, a $6,000 monthly payment if I'm making, 30 grand a year. That isn't gonna happen, I'm gonna be instantly denied. So, it's one of those things that they're checking numbers. An inappropriate question is if you go to the car dealership and they ask you what you make per year. That's an inappropriate question. They should never ask you that, okay? Because that's none of their business. If there's a car dealership, which I know of a few that do this, that ask you that, what they're doing is they're probably going to jack the price of that vehicle once they figure out how much money you make. And so you should always ask up front, what is the price of the vehicle? Then I'll answer your questions. Because they're gonna try to adjust depending on who you are, your age, your sex, your salary, like they're discriminating against you. It's illegal to ask those types of questions. So, it's one of those things you just don't think about. Okay, now, I've definitely dealt with a lot of car dealerships. I've owned a lot of vehicles in my day. And so I kind of know the tricks of the trade, right, how you kind of deal with them. But, the idea is trying to find an annual salary. So let's say that I give you a certain pay or a certain paycheck that you're getting, right? And so let's say your paycheck you're getting per month is $1,750.83. This is your paycheck that you're getting. And the question is, what are you making per year? Okay, this is your paycheck you just received. And I want to know what's your annual salary. What do you get paid per year? What do I need to know? How do I get to this question? What's the most important thing I need to know other than my paycheck?
How many times you get it?
Yeah, exactly right. How many times are you actually getting that paycheck? If this is a consistent paycheck you're getting, how many times are they giving you it? Right? Is it weekly? Is it monthly? Is it every 2 weeks? That's what they're going to tell you. So if they tell you that you're going to get paid, and this is pretty typical of most businesses, maybe they say that you're getting paid semi-monthly. So if you're getting this check semi-monthly, that means twice a month, right? Semi-monthly, twice a month. You can see it up here. In fact, it's right here. So you have to find on the chart which one you have. So that means I'm getting 24 checks a year because I'm getting paid twice a month. There's 12 months of a year, January to December. So if you're getting 2 checks a month, you're getting 24 checks total. So what you do is you just multiply by 24. There's your pay. That's what you make annually. Now, obviously, there's a difference in gross pay versus net pay. That's our topic that we have to talk about today. But in theory, 24 times the $1,750.83, you're getting paid $42,000 a year. So $42,000 a year. Because I took 24 times the 1750. Questions at all about how I found that number? Again, the book is going to give you today, they're going to give you what your paycheck is. They're going to tell you that. They're going to tell you, a keyword. You're getting paid weekly, you're getting paid quarterly, you're getting paid monthly. And they're going to ask you, what's your annual salary? Do you think you guys can handle that if I give you that chart? You just multiply the two numbers. Just figure out where you're at in the chart. Okay. Second thing I talked about, because I'll do another one of these if we need to. The second question that I kind of brought up was this idea of gross versus net pay. I'm not worried about this in your homework, this is just something that you need to be aware of. Gross versus net pay. Gross pay is the entire paycheck you were supposed to get before federal taxes came out, insurances, Medicare, Social Security, like everything, right? So gross pay. If you look at the newspaper, public, like government employees, public employees like myself, school employees, we have to report our salary to the newspaper. We don't do it, the school does it automatically. It's public knowledge what we get paid. What they report is they report gross pay. Right? They report that before taxes, before insurances, before Social Security. So if you look in the paper, I think it was reported last year that I make $77,000 a year or something like that. I don't know where that number came from. Okay, that's what the school agreed to pay me. Because my net pay is probably this. And you're thinking, Ward, the paper said 70. You're getting 40? Yeah, in cash. Because everything else is going to taxes and Social Security and Medicare and insurances. So the cash I'm taking home is very different. So the idea is like when you talk to like a credit card company or you talk to State Farm Insurance or whatever insurance company you go through, and they ask what is your annual salary. These are two different numbers. You should probably clarify what one they want. Do you want the net pay or do you want the gross pay? And if they say we don't really care, you can tell whatever number you want, and they'll just adjust. How that could affect you. So it's kind of weird thing about this. Let's say you want to go for a credit card. I don't recommend it. Let's say you want a credit card. Credit cards have limits, right? They're going to limit to what you can have on your credit card, how much you can spend, and what you can pay back. It's better to have a lower limit. It is, just because it doesn't affect your credit score as much, and you don't have to pay as much back. Just saying. But anyway, if you tell the credit card company what your gross pay is, they raise your limit on your credit card. So let's say I told the credit card company I make $77,000 a year. They may give me a limit of like $12,000 to $15,000 on my credit card. I don't need $12,000 to $15,000 on the credit card. I don't need that. Okay? But if I told them my net pay, something like this, let's say, now my limit might be only $6,000 because I'm making literally half as much. So they basically cut it down in half. The reason why they have a limit, it's your theoretical threshold before you would go bankrupt, basically. Like you couldn't pay it back fast enough. You never want to max out a credit card because once it gets to that point, the charges, the fees they give you per month, you will never be able to pay it off in your whatever they consider your limit to be. You never want to hit that. Credit cards are terrifying if you don't know how to use them properly. They are. Because they can spiral out of control and the debt doesn't go away. You can file bankruptcy and it doesn't go away. You still have to pay it. So it's one of those catches. But again, this comes down to it, right? You need to know what you make because that makes a big difference on what the limit is. Okay. Same with buying a car. You got to know what your net pay is because that's the cash you're getting in hand. The rule of thumb for getting approval for a car loan, basically, because you can get a loan over so many years. Basically, it's whatever you make per year. That's pretty much the max price of the car you can afford. So if I was going to go out and buy a car, this is the magical number. I could probably afford a $42,000 car max at my salary level.